Aloha and welcome to Airguns 808. Sorry it's been a while since I posted a video. I had some issues with Amazon and an item that I ordered, so I ended up having to wait a week before I could post this video. But now that I got everything together, let's get started with the review. This is the Gamo Swarm Whisper .22 caliber air rifle. This one was purchased from Walmart.com. I paid about $129, but you can purchase it right now for about $149.99. Unlike the Gamo Varmint that I had purchased from Walmart.com, this one actually came in better condition. The box wasn't damaged at all. It's actually in really good shape. Right here on the box you can see it's rated at 1000 feet per second. It uses whisper sound suppression technology. It uses an IGT system, which is inert gas piston technology, and it has a 1-year warranty. So this is Gamo's Proshot ID system. A lot of people associate this with the caliber of the pellets, but Gamo says that's not completely true. So you can see right here, green is for hunting, red is for pest control and recreation, and blue is associated with target. I haven't seen many target and competition guns out there except for one, and it's a pistol. But other than that, I guess this chart here is to help you find the correct air rifle for your needs. So you can see that this one is the green band, so it's considered hunting. You can hunt small game, and I've even seen people take down wild boars with this gun. Okay, so let's take it out of the box. You can see the rubber recoil absorbing pad on the back. It is a composite body with these nice grips on it. The grips are actually molded into the plastic. They're not rubber, but they do feel really nice. It has the Swarm magazine technology right there on the top. And it also has a composite barrel shroud around a steel barrel that is rifled. It also has a whisper technology built in here, early gen whisper technology, so it's not as quiet. So let's take a look at the trigger here. It has a plastic trigger guard around the trigger. This is the safety. Push forward for fire and pull back for safe. The trigger is plastic, and you can adjust the trigger. There's a screw located just behind the trigger there, you can see. That screw, you can adjust the trigger to have it as tight or as loose as you want. Alright, let's take a look at the top of the gun now. So this is pretty much an all metal construction on the top here. This little riser here is supposed to help save your scopes, but we'll talk about that a little later. You can see that it has like a steel top here. Except for this is the Swarm technology right here. This is the magazine loader. This is what loads the pellets from the magazine into the barrel. Alright, let's talk about this little riser for a little bit. So this is actually supposed to help prevent damage to your scopes from the recoil of the gun, but I don't really know how much of a difference it makes because I already had to readjust my scope once. So this is a Swarm technology. You can put a 10-round magazine in here for the .22 version of this gun, and it works really well. So this is the typical LC 4x32 scope you get with the Gamo rifles. It's okay. It's good for when you're first starting, and it'll get you by until you can get another scope for it, but I would recommend replacing it. If you can, try and get the Swarm Maxim. The Swarm Maxim is the exact same rifle, except it has a better scope included. You can see here it does do a good job of sighting out, and you know, it's pretty clear. No issues with it really, but this gun has so much potential, you want to put a better scope on it. Taking a look at the magazine here, it's actually a really nice magazine. I like the fact that it's 10 shots. This is the Gen 1 magazine. The Gen 2 does load a little different, but you can see there's a picture guide on the front there to help you. Shows you which way to turn the magazine and which way the pellets go in. Very easy to use. I do also like that there is a small white dot that will appear near the pellet when you drop it in to tell you that you have 5 rounds loaded. It's a really nice feature, and this is the display to tell you how many shots you have left. When that little symbol is up, that means that it's empty. All right, let's get this thing loaded. So for this test, I'm going to be using the Crossman Premier .22. These are, I believe, the hollow points. This is all I had for the testing, but it actually works really well. These work really well in the gun. The Crossman Premier hollow points work really well. All right, that's the last pellet. Let's get it loaded up and let's go shoot it. So as you can see there, that was 10 shots, and the grouping is not bad at all. Not bad at all. It does make it a lot easier that you don't have to fumble around loading a pellet every time. You just crack the barrel, line back up, and shoot. All right, and that's a look at the Gamo Swarm Whisper. I bet you're wondering why I went with the Swarm Whisper over the Swarm Maxim. For one, the Swarm Maxim was not available, but there's only 3 real differences between the Swarm Whisper and the Swarm Maxim. For one, the Swarm Maxim comes with a 3-9 by 40 scope. This is only a 4 by 32 scope. So that's one difference. And the Swarm Maxim also has a cat trigger. This is a SAT trigger, a smooth action trigger on here. And that's pretty much the only differences between, and the price. The Swarm Maxim was $50 more, and the Gen 2 Swarm Maxim, which was available but I didn't want to shell out for just yet, was $269, which is getting up there in price for me. This guy, I got this one for $129. I bought it on Walmart.com. It is available on Walmart.com for $146.99, I believe it is, $146.99. But I had a $20 gift card and I put that on there. And after shipping was free for this gun, but you do have to pay a delivery charge, which was like $4 or something like that. It wasn't no big deal. So yeah, I got a pretty good deal on this, and that's why I just pulled the trigger on this. Another reason why I didn't go with the Gen 2 Swarm Maxim is they only had it in 177 caliber. They didn't have it in the 22, and I wanted to get a 22. I've been wanting to get a 22 caliber air rifle for a while. I just haven't had the chance to or the opportunity to, and this was the perfect opportunity to get that. So this is a pretty affordable rifle. Between this and the Maxim Swarm, or the Swarm Maxim, the Whisper and the Maxim are the exact same rifles. They just come with those three differences: the price, the scope, and the trigger. And that's it. Other than that, velocity is the same. Everything else is the same. The reason why I really wanted a Swarm gun by Gamo is because of the magazines. This is the Gen 1 magazine. You can tell because it loads in like this. The new Gen 2 magazines, they drop in like this. Other than that, I really love this gun. It's a great gun. If you want to pick one up, I would go to walmart.com. is the cheapest place I found it that gave free shipping. Delivery charges will vary. The delivery surcharge, I should call it, will vary depending on your location. I'm in Hawaii, so we're usually the most expensive. Between us and Alaska is usually the most expensive. So you're probably not going to pay more than, I'd say, $9 on your surcharge. So yeah, keep that in mind. Walmart.com, it's available now for $146.99. Go ahead and pick it up. I'll put a little picture in it right about now. And yeah, I love this rifle. It's a great rifle. I'm glad I bought it. I'm happy with my purchase. I'm not too bummed that I didn't get the Maxim. This is, like I said, the exact same rifle, just a different scope and different trigger. So yeah, but the weight of this gun feels really good. It has a very nice weight. The one downside to this air rifle, I would have to say, is the cheek rest. Because this scope is up a little bit higher than normal, than what I'm used to with the Gamo varmint, the cheek rest, it feels a little weird. So when I look through the scope, I usually put my cheek on it like this and I'll peer through the scope. But if I do that on this rifle, I can't see anything. So I kind of have to put it under, like, next to my chin for me to actually see anything and be able to hit anything. Just like that. And I have to scoot up a little bit. Like right there is the sweet spot for me. Another thing I don't like too is the scope itself. Mine has a little imperfection on it. You couldn't really see it in the video, but there's a little piece of it. Looks like the glass on the inside is bubbled and there was like an air bubble in it or something, because it has this small little bubble on the top part of the lens. And at first I thought it was like a water droplet, but I tried cleaning the lenses, wiping them down, and it didn't go away. And I just like took a better look at it with a flashlight, and I noticed that it's an air bubble in the glass on the scope. So that was the only downside to this scope. But other than that, it's perfect for what I need it for now. Like I said, I'll probably upgrade this later. This is just one of those typical Gamo scopes you get with pretty much every break barrel Gamo rifle you buy now. They include this scope with it, this 4x32 scope, and it does work. It works well. There's a lot of people that complain that these scopes have a little bit of haze to it, but to be honest, I haven't seen anything, like no haze on it or anything like that. Everything to me looks really clear. Like I can see very clear through the scope, and everything looks good. I can see the targets clearly. I can see the whatever I'm shooting at. I can see it clearly, so I don't have to worry about it. And yeah, another thing I did like about this rifle was this grip here. It's not, I don't think it's rubber, but it almost feels like rubber, this grip on here. It has a really nice feel to it. Almost like sandpaper, almost. Just not as rough, but yeah, you can really feel it in your hands, and you feel like you got a good grip on the rifle. Another good thing about this is the recoil is a lot lower than the varmint, which is another good thing, because the varmint is a Springer. Like I said earlier, this one uses the inert gas technology, the IGT technology in the piston. So it's not a Springer. This is a gas piston brake barrel, which is actually pretty good. This I feel doesn't really do anything, but I guess I'll have to like wait to see in the future. This little riser here, I guess we can call it. This is supposed to be their anti-vibration technology for the scopes, so the scopes don't you don't damage your scopes shooting these guns. Like on the varmint, I already had to readjust my scope once already after shooting so many times, because the scope was like pretty much like coming loose and it was like jiggling, so I had to retighten everything and resecure it and move it up a hair. It was like moving backwards slowly. Even though it has a little the stop pin in there, it still doesn't keep it from coming loose. So other than that, this is a wonderful buy. I do suggest picking one up. It is quieter than the Gamo varmint by quite a bit, but it is still pretty loud. You know, the whisper technology on this particular model, the Gen 1 models, isn't quite there yet. You know, because of the reloadable magazine, the 10 rounds and everything else, this air rifle is more than worth it to pick up. So yeah, on that note, that's going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down below if you guys are thinking about picking this up. If not, I'll catch you next time. Aloha.